Good morning, I am Tracy Spence with your newscast. This newscast is brought to you courtesy of BioLife Energy Systems. Come join, believe in. Call them at 800-875-5433. USA Credit Repair, the key to beautiful credit. You may call them at 800-786-1330. And Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration, weekdays 8:30 a.m. on Saturdays 7 p.m. and 12 noon on Sundays. Now for the news in details. The Returning Residents Association of Jamaica has publicly called on the government to cut storage fees at the ports by 50% for Jamaicans returning home. In a short statement on the subject and released to the media yesterday, the association argued that many Jamaicans who have been shipped their belongings as they returned home have not been able to retrieve them in a timely manner as a result of measures associated with COVID-19. In this statement, the association did not make any distinction between people who have traveled as tourists and those who, after years of living abroad, were returning to re-establish residency on the island. It, however, made reference to previous interventions on its part for reduction in waivers. Vice President of the People's National Party, PNP Philip Paulwell, is hoping that the new Jamaica Labour Party JLP administration will include some of the plans his party had in the manifesto. According to Paulwell, members of the PNP are willing to meet with the government and work out details in some areas in the manifesto, which will alleviate some of the hardships being faced because of the coronavirus COVID-19. Paulwell was speaking at the PNP headquarters at Old Holt Road, St. Andrew, after the JLP had won 49 seats to 14 of the PNP and will remain in government for the next 5 years. The JLP had won the 2016 general elections with 32 seats to 31, but won 2 by-elections to have 34 to 29 when the general election was called. Meanwhile, the Electoral Office of Jamaica, EOJ, says it is advising the public that employed people who served as election day workers are not required to quarantine for a period following the recent general election. The EOJ said it is aware that a number of employers are advising their employees who served that they must quarantine before returning to work. But the EOJ says its position is that the requirement is unnecessary as measures in line with the World Health Organization and Pan American Health Organization standards were put in place to mitigate the risk of possible infection from the COVID-19 disease among electors and poll workers on election day. It added that further checks of the Ministry of Health and Wellness and public health authorities confirmed that self-quarantine is not a requirement for election day workers. The National Hurricane Center is monitoring 3 tropical waves in the Atlantic storm basin, one of which is very likely to form into a tropical depression. A tropical wave is now located over the eastern Atlantic Ocean. It is currently just an unorganized group of showers and thunderstorms, but has a chance of developing into a tropical storm or hurricane within the next 5 days. The named tropical storm will be Paulette. This system is moving west-northwest into the central Atlantic Ocean. There it will run into conditions that are more favorable for it to strengthen and organize into a stronger system. Finally, this morning, CARICOM countries continue to record deaths associated with the coronavirus. In the Bahamas, where 3 deaths were recorded, pushing the total to 50, health authorities also reported that 49 new positive cases of the virus had been detected over the last 24 hours. In Suriname, the death toll climbed by 1 to 73 after an unidentified person died from the virus. The authorities said 66 people tested positive for the virus over the last 24 hours, and the country currently has 824 active cases. In Guyana, the Ministry of Public Health reported 1 more death and 19 more cases of the virus. And that is it for the news. This newscast came to you courtesy of BioLife Energy Systems. Come join, believe in. Call them at 800-875-5433. USA Credit Repair, the key to beautiful credit. You may call them at 800-786-1330. And Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration, weekdays 8:30 a.m. on Saturdays 7 p.m. and 12 noon on Sundays. On behalf of the news and production team, I am Tracy Spence. To have a good morning.